What are you doing? Are you going to go work at the hospital like Mommy?
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you.
Hi guys, Tim again with Real Southern Exposure. Welcome to another episode. Planning on doing today is we got to cut up some 2x6s, 16 foot. These are going to be used for rail fence for sorting cattle, depending upon which one's going to the sale, which one's going to the butcher, and which one's going back out in the field. So this 4-rail fence has got to be particularly strong. We're going to end up doing them cutting these logs up into inch and 5/8 by 5 5/8, somewhere in there. And the logs that we're going to be using are primarily loblolly pine. I think there's some sand pine in there, and maybe even a couple of Virginia pines. Go ahead and grab yourself a glass of sweet tea, kick back, relax, and let's take in a little more southern exposure. Let's do it. Okay, so the cooling media that I'm using is diesel fuel off-road, and the blade that I'm using is a carbide tipped wood miser blade.
Remember sunsets in Boston, kissing yellow concrete. We watched all of them together until we couldn't go to sleep. Wish it lasted forever, but it faded away. I was wrong, you were right. We couldn't stand tall under the fire. Somewhere I can see the silver lining, but it's so far away. Someone told me about you, said you were moving back. And could I steal you for a moment to pretend there's still something from the past? Wish it lasted forever, but it faded away. I was wrong, you were right.
Alright guys, let's take a look at some of that wood. That is some good looking 2x6s. I mean, look at that stuff. A little bit of denim staining, some small knots every now and then, but this is loblolly pine. You're always going to have that. Nice tight grain in there. A little bit more denim staining. How smooth that cut is. Man, that is smooth. There's some fringing right in here, but it isn't really that bad. I mean, it feels smooth to the hand.
I don't know where she came from, kinda turned me upside down. I just don't know what to do. I wanna spend the night at hers and bring her one of my t-shirts so it smells like her perfume. Now I really get what the love songs are talking about. And I just wanna tell her how I feel, scream it out loud. Have you ever been in love? Have you ever lost your head? Have you felt like you were out of breath when you saw her in that dress? When your heart is beating fast and you're sweating and you can't stop looking at her smile, then you've been in love. That's how you know you've been in love. There's something about the way she laughs and the way she always dances when she thinks nobody sees. And when she's gone I miss her so. I tell her, baby, please don't go. I think you should stay with me. And I really get what the love songs are talking about. Oh, and I just wanna tell her how I feel, scream it out loud. Have you ever been in love? Have you ever lost your head? Have you felt like you were out of breath when you saw her in that dress? When your heart is beating fast and you're sweating and you can't stop looking at her smile, then you've been in love. That's how you know you've been in love. Upside down, I just don't know what to do. I wanna spend the night with her, bring her one of my t-shirts so it smells like her perfume. Have you ever been in love? Have you ever lost your head? Have you felt like you were out of breath when you saw her in that dress? When your heart is beating fast and you're sweating and you can't stop looking at her smile, then you've been in love. That's how you know you've been in love.
Alright, fellers, now that we ended up getting that cut up, let's go take a look at some of that wood we ended up getting out of that log. But first, before we do, I ended up switching that blade out to a Turbo 7 042 made by Woodmiser. The reason why was because the Achilles heel to a thin curve band mill is the weld on that joint in the band. That is the Achilles heel. Every single band that I've had break, it's always right there on that joint. And it wasn't because of the blade being hot. There's no bluing, there's nothing. It's not because the blade was dull, because this thing was cutting like a razor blade. In fact, the carbide teeth are still like a razor blade. It broke right here, and I don't know if you can see it, but there is a dark spot in that weld. That's where it was a bad joint, and then it's ground thin back here on the corner. So because it going around the band wheels so much, I think it just wore it out to where it just break. So that just sucks, because that's another $100 gone. So, you know, $70 to $100. I've tried a lot of these dang thin curve carbide tip blades. I've tried Lennox, Woodmiser. There are two other brands. I even tried one generic brand, and the generic brand, I think I got through 2 logs before that thing broke in two, and they were small, short logs, cutting 4x4s. So I think once these carbide blades are done, I think I'm just going to keep a few of them on the shelf for the really hard stuff, like some of the oaks and the hickory, and I just won't touch them. They run great for those, have no issues, other than The Achilles heel being the break in the weld. If you've had any other issues like this, leave a comment down below, or you know a good carbide blade to use, leave a comment down below. I really do appreciate the insight and the advice. Let's go ahead and look at some of that wood now. As you can see, it's got a little bit of knots, got some denim staining in there. I think that stuff adds character myself. But other than that, this is some really good looking 2x6 16s. The amount of wood I ended up cutting with it was 1.5 logs. I got halfway through the first slab on one log, and then the other log I ended up completely cutting up, and I got five boards out of one log, and basically 3-4 slabs all together. That was it. That's all I got out of it. So that's some expensive 2x6s. So I think I'm just going to keep a couple of them on the shelf for the really hard stuff, and I'm not going to touch them except for then. I'll just stay with the steel Turbo 7s. They seem to work probably the best as far as longevity goes. So with that said, I hope this video has been educational. I hope you learned something from it. I hope you liked it. Do me a favor, click down below, hit like, and subscribe if you aren't already. We really do appreciate it. And go ahead and leave a comment down below so it can put you into that drawing that we have at the first of every month. So with that said, I'll see you on the next video, and God bless.